You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
Welcome in, Oilers Nation every day. Tyler, Jay, Liam, a bit of a different vibe today. It's a Saturday. Everyone's cozy at home, except for Liam, who is cozy in his car. But I am still coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. If the Oilers win tonight, I will have enough money to buy a new S for the sign. Shout out to our friends at the Sports Closet. You can pick up some of these bad boys, the new Royal Blues, which the Oilers will be rocking tonight for the BOA. So let's dig into it. Going to be a full preview. It's a Sherwood Ford game day here on Oilers Nation every day. Sherwood Ford, the Giant. You know the rule. If you see me driving the Nation truck on a game day and you honk, that is good vibes. That means it's one goal for the Oilers. Jay, what's up? Great studio, by the way. Great makeshift setup.
I'd like to argue that I am in the Sports Closet studio. But most importantly, happy birthday, Tyler.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's you know, it's human level first, and then it's about sports. So
yeah, that's the reason we're all doing it from separate locations, because I refuse to come into the office on my birthday. I said I'll work, but I'm working from the comfort of my
I was
home.
begging. This way I had to make a makeshift studio in my basement. I've got, just for a little tour here, I got the Letestu, which I might be wearing to the game tonight because it's royal blue. Shout out to our boy Strutty. And then this might be a 12-year-old Nuge jersey.
Yeah, that's still a Reebok one. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's OG. It's OG, bro.
That is fantastic stuff. Maybe it's a good vibes for our boy Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who will be looking for his first goal of the season tonight. Looking at the YouTube chat, that is where we are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitter and on Facebook as well. Shout out to the Facebook viewers. We've had a ton of them, but we don't read your comments because the rule here is we only read comments that are done on the YouTube. Thanks, everyone.
But we love you at Facebook. We love you all on Facebook.
Yes. We love everyone equally. We just only read the text line or the chat line on the YouTube. Thanks to everyone who wished me a happy birthday in there as well. Battle of Alberta tonight. For the first time since Connor McDavid scored the OT winner in Game 5 of Round 2 of the Stanley playoffs to eliminate the Calgary Flames. And then a lot happened. For the Flames, it was a summer of basically ripping down their roster and rebuilding it. Gaudreau gone, Tkachuk gone, Weegar, Huberdeau, Kadri, all in. Is this going to be the same BOA? Jay, do you think this is going to have the same feel? Will there still be that bad blood? Zach Kassian's gone for Edmonton too, and he was a major mixer-upper for this rivalry.
Was he? Matthew Tkachuk. You have to thank Matthew Tkachuk for bringing the B back in the BOA for the last couple of years, with him going after Kassian, then Kassian obviously bringing the Thunder after that. Calgary is interesting. They literally rebuilt their core over the course of the summer. Like, core is completely different, which is interesting, and which has me like having some uncertain feelings about tonight's game, because it is a different team. Mm-hmm. We knew Johnny we can isolate and take care of, and Matthew Tkachuk, you just kind of like let him do his thing and put him in a corner. But like now with Huberdeau, now with the improvement on defense, but and we've got Kadri, so a little bit more grit. The thing to watch is now the Kane and Kadri beef after last season, when Kane dumped him in the boards through the 5-minute major there, which we killed, and that was the most stressful 5 minutes of my life. It'll be interesting to see if there's any retribution there. You know, Kane will happily oblige. It's definitely a mismatch for sure, but Kadri's a gamer, so you know, maybe there'll be a little B. Is it lowercase b or is it uppercase B tonight? We'll find out, but that would be the storyline to follow between those two. And then, Markstrom. Which Markstrom are we going to get, Tyler? The one that just is Swiss cheese against the Oilers?
Okay, well,
Or is he actually going to stop a puck?
Let me run these numbers by you. Regular season Jacob Markstrom against Edmonton last year, 2-2, 884 save percentage, 3.54 goals against average. On the regular season as a whole, he was .922 and a 2.22 goals against average. It's insane how his numbers crater against the Oilers. Career regular season BOAs for Markstrom, 884 save percentage, 3.41 goals against average. Last year in the playoffs, 852 save percentage, 5.12 goals against average. All of that to say, they're starting Dan Vladar tonight.
Yes, that is a signal. So there it is right there. Calgary is scared. They are signaling to Edmonton that Markstrom cannot stop the puck against them.
Liam, your thoughts on today's BOA and your thoughts on the Flames going with Dan Vladar between the pipes?
The Vladar thing is super interesting. Like, you'd think it's only, second game of the season now? They would want to get Markstrom up and running and just go in, like, let him have a bounce back game against the Oilers, who dominated him in the playoffs. And now, like you said, like there's been so many changes for the Flames now. It feels like this is a whole different chapter in the Battle of Alberta. Like I don't really know what to expect from a lot of the top guns. Like Huberdeau's never experienced something like this now. And like Weegar's going to be a tough guy for the Oilers to go up against. And we spoke about it yesterday in the office. Like it feels like this Flames blue line is built to defend against the Oilers attack. And now it's going to be a much tougher challenge, I think, for the Oilers to go out there and do what they did against Vancouver, for example. Like this is a tough Flames team to play against. And who knows, like maybe if Vladar stands on his head and you know, gets the nod and that confidence from Sutter now to go and play and have a great game, but hopefully not, but we'll see.
It's an interesting signal to Markstrom, and sorry, my doorbell rang, so if you hear hot dog barking, that is why. But you know, the things we got to keep an eye for, I think, in this game is it's an interesting signal. So the D now have their backup in, so maybe they step up and show up tonight. But Mackenzie Weegar, being a good defenseman and being more on the offensive side than maybe the defensive side, that's a guy that I think has been prone or could be pushed or pressured into making a home run mistake. So I think tonight, you know, something we need to do is, yes, we are top end skill, but we got to bring our forecheck game. Everyone's got to channel their inner Zach Hyman and go at these guys and make sure that they feel the pressure and cause some mistakes. And like that's the type of game we're going to have to bring, because you know a Daryl Sutter team is going to bring that against us.
Keep dropping your comments in the YouTube chat and hit the little like button as well. I would really appreciate it.
And subscribe.
That. Yeah, and hit the subscribe button if you don't already. I would assume if you're watching this on YouTube, you are subscribed, though. But if you're not, for whatever reason, hammer that button. A lot of talk in the chat about, yes, the Flames are indeed going with Daniel Vladar between the pipes. Also, just on the topic of, will there be a rivalry? Won't there be that rivalry kind of feel for this hockey game tonight? Zach says, you know, Draisaitl hates the Flames. He'll bring the pissiness. And he added that the Oilers also hate Rasmus Andersson, and he hasn't gone anywhere either.
I hate Rasmus Andersson.
Rasmus Andersson might be my most, like, hated Flame. Like, he's the guy who, if I was on the ice, he would get under my skin the most.
He feels so comfortable on the ice and is easily humbled. And that's what drives me nuts. He thinks he can go around. And yes, he's got Luch behind him, and that always opens up guys like that to feel a little bit safer. But man, someone's got to take care of that guy. He drives me crazy. He takes liberties at us at will, and we just somehow let it go reciprocated or attacked, I guess. So this is where Evander Kane comes into effect. I feel like he's someone that can come and silence the Rasmus Andersson effect tonight. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Kane, I'm putting a lot of pressure on you tonight. I'm expecting you to cause some chaos and get your first goal this season.
Yeah. What else we got going on here in the chat? Zach says rent-free on the topic of Markstrom getting the start. If I was a Flames fan, and someone did point out, and Sutter, I guess, alluded to this, they were debating starting Vladar in the season opener because I guess Markstrom was feeling a little under the weather, but he was ultimately good enough to go. Sutter says they want to give Vladar one start a week throughout the season, ease the workload up on Markstrom, which they didn't do last year, and this is just the one game they're giving him. But if I was a Flames fan, I'd hate this because of the message it kind of sends to Jacob Markstrom. Like, yes, okay, you want to give Dan Vladar one start, but if you believe in Jacob Markstrom, if he's your true number one goalie, and he's a damn good goalie, is this not a bit of a slap in the face? Like, hey, we're not giving you your redemption shot, man. Like, sorry.
Sorry, can you guys hear hot dog? I must ask.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Hot dog's making some
okay, noise. The little bugger. Anyways, all good. Yeah, it's you know what I like about it? It gives us fuel against Flames fan. That's actually what the most important thing is. Is they're too scared to start Markstrom. It is game 2. It's not about load management just yet.
Exactly.
And once a week, sure, that's a nice narrative you can play. And sure, this might be the only other game this week that they could start Vladar. But to me, that just shows me there is a legitimate fear of starting Markstrom against the Oilers. Markstrom must have nightmares. Connor McDavid nightmares the eve before having to play him because his save percentage only suggests that such because he's literally the worst goalie in the NHL against the Oilers.
Yeah. Let's get into the line combinations here for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, brought to you by our friends over at Sherwood Ford. The top line is a bit of a new-look top line, although last game, what even matters, because they just went to McDavid and Draisaitl really quickly. But McDavid will center Hyman and Puljujarvi. Draisaitl will center Evander Kane, and Kyler Yamamoto will make his season debut. Nugent-Hopkins on the third line with Dylan Holloway and Warren Foegele on the right side, who is expected to make his season debut. Ryan Mcleod on the fourth line with Derek Ryan and Brad Malone. We'll circle back to that in just a second here. Darnell Nurse with Cody Ceci, Brett Kulak with Tyson Barrie, Ryan Murray with Evan Bouchard. Liam, I want to get your take on this. Ryan Mcleod on the fourth line. That concerns me a little bit because Woodcroft doesn't play his fourth line all that much. Like, I'm nervous about McLeod being down there and maybe not getting the ice time I feel he deserves.
Yeah, like McLeod has come a long way under his time with Woodcroft too, but I do believe that Woodcroft has that belief in McLeod to play him a little bit more, and maybe that's why he's put him on that fourth line, knowing he's a reliable player that he can play in any situation. And like I said, I think Ryan McLeod will be fine on that line. It just kind of shows the depth the Oilers have as well, where it's like, well, now we can't play him on the third line because we have to put Nuge there because Yamo and Foegele are now back. I think it's a good example of what a good job Ken Holland has done with this team to put so many good players in that forward group that you have to put McLeod there. But I think he'll be fine just from that trust factor he's earned through Woodcroft.
It's interesting they're not going 11-7 tonight because like Brad Malone played like 3 minutes on Wednesday night. Kills
penalties though, right? Doesn't he? Or did he kill any penalties the other night?
He might have, but it's just like you barely play him. So I'm like I you know what? I like the fact that he's in the lineup because that guy finishes every check. So I think in a BOA, I think that's really important because I know Calgary's probably going to be coming at us that way. So it's probably good that we kept him in the lineup.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, our boy Dylan Holloway, who had his welcome to the NHL moment last game. I know it's just nerves. I still believe in this kid.
Oh yeah.
So I like the fact that he's still getting like our third line. Like if Nuge is your center, like that's like a 2- line. Like it's a quasi second line. So I really like the makeup of that second line. Still giving Holloway a shot. I'm interested now to see the Kane, Draisaitl, Yamamoto line. I'm really interested to see how that develops. Kane being a shooter, Dry being a disher, Yamo being a muscle hamster going in there and just getting pucks loose and getting gritty. And, McDavid now has the ultimate forechecking motor on his line with Hyman. So, and also Puljujarvi plays to that role too. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. It's definitely going to be swaying how I make some of my prop bets tonight for sure.
We will get into our betting talk courtesy of our friends at Betway in just a second here. Brad Malone did kill a minute 44 of penalties in the last game. How about Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, both north of 5 minutes on the PK last game? That is wild.
Well, we had like 500 penalties last game.
Also, shout out to Ryan McLeod, who killed 4 minutes and 43 seconds of a power play time. Also, Ryan McLeod, I'm just looking over the stats from last game and things are popping up to me. He went 60% in the faceoff dot last game. That's an interesting number to keep an eye on.
Well, that's a good stat that you brought up, Tyler. So hopefully in certain situations, offensive zone situations or, PK defensive zone faceoff situations, you're putting that guy in because clearly he's doing good in the dot. That's where RNH always falters is in the dot. And it's always funny. I always notice like Oilers are like, I'd like to know what their non-penalty power play face-off percentage is versus their power play face-off percentage. It seems like they win every power play draw in the offensive zone. It feels like it's like 100%. And then I swear we're like 25% in every other scenario.
I'm going to see if I can actually find that stat somewhere.
That is just eye test. I am not looking at any numbers, but at the game on Wednesday, I'm like, we're winning every power play draw. I'm like, and we're losing every other draw around that. And we also have to be, if we're going to unpack Wednesday a little bit, that definitely wasn't our best game. And Vancouver had a lot of chances that they did not score on. And that game could have gone the other way. And I would almost argue we maybe did not deserve to win. It was still entertaining. We came back, we pulled it off, but like Vancouver was still, when we were coming back, was still generating a lot of high danger chances. They just couldn't, either a puck was bouncing on a one-timer or they just missed the open shot. There was a lot of chances we were still giving up, which still, I'm still concerned about our defense a little bit, but, having that offense, we can still pull things off. But like now we're playing a really good defensive team. So this will be a real test tonight going up against Calgary, but something I have to draw attention to. And another thing I need to draw attention to, just a sign of love and respect. That move that Ryan Murray pulled off when he put it through his legs, when he's essentially the last guy back in a situation where that could have been a home run mistake, but he did it with such calm confidence and almost scored that goal. That was amazing. That was very entertaining. So I want to shout out Ryan Murray.
Ryan Murray, I felt like him and Bouchard got off to a slow start, but the whole team kind of did. And as the game went on, I started to like that pairing a little bit more.
That first period and a half was disgusting. We couldn't get anything going. So, it's good. So that stood out to me. I'll pay more attention to his defensive game, but I was very impressed that, just reminds you that these guys are good. They all have such high-end skill. It doesn't matter what role or what position they are in the lineup, but to see him do that under pressure, it's just so cool. Anyways, I'm fanboying. Getting the Ryan Murray jersey today.
Let's get to the Flames lines. Let's take a look at how they're going to be taking to the ice tonight down at Rogers Place. Elias Lindholm on the top line, new look top line, Jonathan Huberdeau on the left side, and Tyler Toffoli on the right side. Nazem Kadri, who I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he is soon public enemy number one in this BOA. He is centering Dylan Dubé and Andrew Mangiapane. The third line is Michael Backlund with Trevor Lewis and Blake Coleman. Kevin Rooney with Milan Lucic and Brett Ritchie. That is a big fourth line for the Calgary Flames. With the Oilers having last change, though, I wouldn't be a little surprised if maybe once in a while you get a little Connor McDavid action going up against that fourth line. The blue line is where the Flames are really impressive. Mackenzie Weegar with Chris Tanev, Noah Hannafin with Rasmus Anderson, Nikita Zadorov with Michael Stone, and like we said, Daniel Vladar starting between the pipes. Jay, when you look at this lineup, this feels like a group, and I've said this countless times now, this is a roster that looks like it's designed to stop the Oilers. 3 good defensive centers, 3 good defensive D pairings as well. It's a good group.
Healthy Tanev tonight.
That's big too.
That's a game changer because, he wasn't healthy, and Connor was very successful making the defense look like pylons in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see with a healthy Tanev how they look, and being paired with Mackenzie Weegar, that's pretty good. And then the other thing we're going to find out now that Hannafin's not with Tanev is like Noah Hannafin actually really good. He seems to be always insulated, so he's going to be kind of exposed here. So we'll see how he can hold up against our juggernaut offense.
Liam, how do you think the Oilers will go up against this blue line? Because it is an impressive group.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a tough task, but the Oilers also, to their credit, have one of the best forward groups in the league. And I think it's going to be more of a test for Calgary to stop this attack than the Oilers to penetrate the attack defense, if that makes sense. Especially, with Vladar. Like, I wonder too, thinking about it, if this was in Calgary, I wonder if Markstrom would have got the start. Like, I wonder if this is also like a confidence thing for him too. Like, if Oilers fans get on top of him and he allows 4 or 5 goals, I think maybe it affects him throughout the season. So. Yeah, that's another thing I'm kind of curious about. But overall, I think the Oilers attack will do a fine job against this defense. It won't be easy, but I think they'll do okay.
Drop your score predictions and best bets over in the YouTube chat. Adam Anderson says 5-4 Oilers in OT, and he's hammering a Kane anytime goal. McKay says 4-3 Oilers dry with the OT winner for props tonight. He likes a Draisaitl assist and potentially a Hyman goal. Frog Prince, what a name. 4-3 Calgary. Sorry, y'all. I think another late start for the Oilers cost them this time. I hope I am wrong. Let's take a look at the betting market here for our friends over at Betway. The Oilers, minus 118 on the money line, plus 130 if you like them to win in regulation. Jay, we just saw in the chat 2 Oilers OT win predictions and an Oilers loss prediction. Are you nervous? Are you nervous like the people in the chat here? No one's guessing an Oilers blowout.
It's not. I don't think it'll be a blow. I hope it's a blowout. I just feel like Calgary's going to show. We embarrassed them. And the narrative of that embarrassment lasted all summer. We as Oilers fans did not stop bringing it to Flames fans, and they saw it. So this is bulletin board material. So the Flames are going to show up. So I do expect this to be like a battle. Like, I don't know if it's going to be physical, but it's going to be a hard fought battle. Calgary is going to be bringing the forecheck and defending well. Can we reciprocate that energy? And, Campbell, for me, like, the whole team sucked the first half of the period, and we were giving up those chances on for Vancouver to score on Campbell, and then he just kind of stayed solid the rest of the game. We were still giving up those chances, and he just kind of like got comfortable and stuck in there, because that game really could have gone the other way. So he really kind of gave me some confidence in the second half of that game. So I feel like he's going to show up tonight, and I just if I'm going to make a prediction just based on kind of how this is going, and then in fact it's going to be hard fought. Like, to me, this is like a 3-2 game.
Yeah.
Like and maybe it goes, and maybe it is overtime. Like, I am only touching the money line. There is no juice chasing in this one, because this is too tight of a match in my opinion. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but you know what? I always bet with my heart. I can never bet against the Oilers. I always believe the Oilers can win every game. This one's going to be a challenge for them. So the money line, and then I'm going to have a lot of fun on the goal props.
Who do you like?
Well, Hyman on the first line, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, he's already a threat on the power play. So, and you know he's going to be on the power play. So anytime he's going to spend that much time with McDavid, like you gotta bet on him. So I'm definitely going to go Hyman. I'm feeling some Nuge love tonight as well. So I'm going to go on Nuge. Ooh. Like, it's obviously obvious to go on Draisaitl and McDavid, but you know, obviously that's not juicy. I like to chase the juice on the props. I still want to believe in our boy Holloway, but I'm going to take a night off on him and probably regret that. So from a reverse jinxing him to score tonight, that's still a win for all of us. I don't need to win money on him scoring. I just need to see him scoring. But I feel that. And you know what? Yamel's back. He's going to be jacked up. I can see like Draisaitl like putting one off his skating in or something like that.
You just listed the whole roster.
No. I'm going Yamo.
Okay.
I'm going Hyman, and I'm going Nuge. 3.
Okay. 3 goal scorers.
I just told the story about it. Everything's going to happen.
Just quickly, actually, into the chat. Mark says 4-1 Oilers. McDavid, another hat trick. Can you imagine if 97 scored 3? Was it 6 goals after 2 games? Whew.
How about let's talk about that for a second. Like, Kane can be a little bit like, he's a goal scorer, so he likes to like kind of hog it and take that. How about him passing it to Connor, which was a very risky pass because he had to thread it to that. That could have been easily stopped. And I also had the puck line on that, and I'm like, what are you doing? So the fact that they got through, I was like, oh, puck line Jesus was in my corner that night. But I like the selflessness of Kane there, giving McDavid the hat trick, who also hates empty net goals, or at least his demeanor would suggest such. Yeah. But I thought that was very interesting. So that to me is like, is Kane like bought into this team? Because like obviously there's all these, you know, stories and baggage that he brings from his past teams. Like, but like that's such a selfless move, man.
You didn't watch the show yesterday, did you?
No.
I started the show with like a 5-minute rant about how everyone is blowing that so far out of proportion, and they're building statues for Evander Kane for doing literally the bare minimum. You've played hockey before at multiple levels for your whole life. If you do not pass the puck to your teammate who's going for the hat trick when there's an empty net, you're the worst. Like, he did the bare minimum.
You had to pass it through a defender.
Oh my Lord. Yes, they're NHL players.
Oh God.
I think everyone.
I think you're going too hard the other way. It's the middle. I'm not saying praise Kane, but like that is, to me, that's a good signal. Just like not starting Markstrom is a signal. That's a good signal. Okay. I like positivity. I'll drop a positive signal.
I'll drop it. Actually, okay, I was going through the chat here. Mark said another McDavid hat trick. The Canadad says McDavid with another 4 points and a 5-3 Oilers win. Our boy Yash is in. He says, what's going on? I'm saying a bottom 6 player scores early in the first, then Evander, Leon, Connor, and Hyman gets the empty netter for the Oilers, a total of 5 goals. Davin says 6-1 Oilers, and we're scoring on the first shot. That's the vibes. Liam, from a betting perspective, what are you doing tonight?
So I'm going for the puck line, so I'm hoping the puck line Jesus is on my side. And with that,
juicy.
Betway has all these pre-built bets.
Okay.
So I kind of dove into them a little bit. So there's one here. If you put $10 on a power play goal in an empty net, you can win $25. That's pretty solid. And then there was another one here, the Oilers to win and Leon Draisaitl to score 2 points. I believe that's plus 200. And then the last one I was kind of looking around at was the Oilers. Where is it here? Oh, here it is. Oilers to win. McDavid and Huberdeau both get assists in the game. I thought that was a pretty juicy one too. But if you're on Betway, I would go look at all these pre-built parlays. They're actually all pretty strong. Maybe I'll do them all.
That's the spirit, buddy. It's a Battle of Alberta. It is bet with your heart night, if there ever was one.
How about this one that Betway's offering? Gordie Howe hat trick. Any player, 26-1.
Oh, I'd do it.
That's interesting. That is very.
We spoke about that one last year too.
Yeah,
I'm betting that.
We wish they had that one.
Put $5 on that. That pays $130. That's great.
So there are 2 Betway bets of their pre-built ones that both pay 80-1, and they involve the Oilers winning. Oilers to win over 6.5. McDavid and Huberdeau each to score 2 goals. Oilers to win over 6.5. Draisaitl and Lindholm to each score 2+ goals. Here's where I'm going from a betting perspective today. Connor McDavid to score and the Oilers to win straight up on Betway is +200. That is going to be my bet of the game. I think 97 finds the back of the net again. I also like taking Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points. Those 2 guys absolutely feast on the Calgary Flames. I went and dug into the numbers on this a little bit as well, just to show how dominant they are over the Calgary Flames. I can flash that up here. Look at this. 39 games played for McDavid in his career. This includes regular season and playoffs. 29 goals and 30 assists. That is absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. And Draisaitl as well. 43 games played, and that is not a typo. He has 54 assists in 43 career games against the Calgary Flames. That's insanity. They absolutely,
and 20 of those assists are on one leg.
Yeah, and he racked them up in the playoffs as well. So I like Draisaitl over 1.5 points, and then I'm parlaying Oilers to win with Connor McDavid to score at +200. Those are my 2 best bets for today. Shout out to our friends at Betway. Yash says, I don't know why, but I'm sensing at least 3 fights. I don't know if we're getting 3 tilts. I can see us getting a couple
tonight. Who fights on the Oilers? Kane?
Hear me out. Brad Malone.
Oh, yeah, Brad Malone will chuck him. Yeah.
Give me a Brad Malone, Kevin Rooney tilt.
And then Nurse. There's your 3, if I want to see another, because didn't Daryl beat the shit out of Rasmus Anderson when he played for the Sens?
No, in the rookie tournament, you're thinking. Anderson's been
in the rookie. Okay. Anyways.
Nurse Anderson could go. I don't hate that. I'm
Kane
going
Kadri.
Brad Malone, and then a Kane fight could always happen as well. So it's not the craziest
Brad Malone
thing.
might have to fight Lucic because Lucic's going to be coming for someone. Poor Brad Malone.
Poor Brad Malone has to drop the mitts with Milan Lucic. I'd be here for it, though. I'd be rocking.
I will respect the hell out of him for doing it.
I like this one in the chat from Russ, who says, Oilers have always been better when 93 is in the lineup. I like that. I talked about how he killed over 5 minutes of penalties last game. He's on the 3rd line, and I saw people, moaning and groaning on Twitter, being like, oh, that's a $5 million player on the 3rd line. He's an absolute power play wizard. He kills more penalties than anyone. He can play center.
Offensive threat on the penalty kill.
Yeah, he can play center or he can play the wing. If you look at a player like Nugent Hopkins and you don't think that he's worth over $5 million, I don't even know what to tell you. That guy is absolutely worth the money the Oilers pay him. And also, there's something to be said about having a guy who wants to be a career Oiler. So I love that Nuge is getting a little bit of love in the chat.
That's why I brought his jersey here. Right there. That's absolutely. The Nuge.
All right, there we go. We got our betting done for the show today. We got all the line combos done today. What else? Is there anything else we need to get to this evening or before we wrap this thing up?
Tyler, are you going to the game?
Yeah, I'm going to the game.
It's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
What is your BPP?
Ooh, I thought you were gonna ask me what jersey I'm gonna wear. So I was looking at my rack of jerseys here, trying to decide which one. Might go all navy Draisaitl. I think that might be the vibe tonight. But what is my BPP?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to be...
And before you answer that, obviously you're going to the game. I'm going to the game. I'm starting my night tonight at Soho. We're doing a watch party event there. Mm-hmm. So it kicks off there. Then we make our way to the game. So you're going to have a few beers into you.
Yeah.
So you're going to the game loose, feeling good. You got your navy blue Draisaitl jersey on. You're vibing it. You've got the whole betting table sprinkled with Oilers bets.
Yep.
What is Tyler Yaremchuk's birthday BPP?
The birthday BPP today.
The BBPP.
It's gotta be it's gotta be 2. I think 2 is is the play today. But actually, you know what? No, I think I'm going to keep it at a nice light one because I want to be able to go back to Soho after the game and still be like coherent, if you know what I'm saying, right? So 1, but I'll definitely have a couple pregame. But
you're in for a shift, that's why.
Yeah, it's going to be a shift today for me. It's going to be a long birthday shift, but it's all good. Soho, nationgear.ca is where you can get your tickets to the watch party tonight downtown Edmonton. $25 is your ticket, and that gets you a t-shirt. It gets you into the party, obviously, but it also gets you a t-shirt and some GCs, little swag bag, all that kind of stuff. And then we're also giving away some great prizes, and our charity partner for this one is Sports Central. So you go, get some good food, get some good drinks, have a good time, and you're helping out a good cause as well. So
and there is a chance that you might be walking in with your ticket and walking right back out after you have a few beers and maybe a pizza and getting a game day experience tonight and joining us.
Oh, look at that. I didn't even know we were doing that. So there you go. Head down to Soho.
And you see how I tiptoed around it lightly?
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of people watching.
The game within the game, as Chalmers always says.
The game within the game. All right, I think that's going to be a wrap on a Sherwood Ford the Giant Game Day edition. And it is a giant game day because it's the first Battle of Alberta of the year. Shout out to our friends at the Sports Closet as well. You want to be looking your best for a Saturday night game. So go, whether it's the Sherwood Park Mall, the St. Albert Mall, or Kingsway Mall, go check out our friends at Sports Closet. They'll have you looking nice and sharp. They also sell Nation gear in store. So if you've ever wanted to get your hands on some more Nation gear and you don't like ordering online for some reason, you can go to Sports Closet. Check it out there. Final score prediction. This is like the solidified one. I'm going to say, I've changed my mind on this with the Vladar thing. I'm going to say the Oilers win this game 6-3. McDavid scores 2. Jay, what say you?
I'm still digging in at 3-2. 3-2 Oilers.
3-2 Oilers. Liam?
5-3 Oilers, and there's going to be a power play goal and an empty net to hit that on the bet too.
Power play goal.
Well, there was one on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that's going to be a wrap. Thanks, everyone who tuned in. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the BOA tonight. This has been Oilers Nation every day, and we'll be back on Monday.